The simplest way I can explain why I'm running for leader of the Conservative Party is this. I can't let Justin Trudeau do to my kids what his father did to my generation.
You can't smear the Scheer.
Can I rebut that before my answer?
Yes, you could rebut. Andrew Scheer.
Okay. Kevin O'Leary has said that he's against a carbon tax, but in an interview, he said that any business owner, anybody who worked for a company that didn't reduce emissions, he would put in jail. So your choice is a Justin Trudeau carbon tax or a Kevin O'Leary carbon jail. I'm against both of them. Kevin, with all due respect, you haven't committed to winning a seat. You've made statements like it's your way or the highway. You haven't committed to putting your full time into this. This, being leader of the Conservative Party, is not a part-time job. Would you hire someone, would you invest in someone who came and pitched you and said you're only going to do it half-time, you're going to keep all your other enterprises? We need to rebuild this party. We need to regain the trust of Canadians. That is a full-time job. We need 100% commitment from our leader.
Smoke weed every day.
Now, all the leadership candidates you heard from today, we're all conservative. Most of us are conservative. Mr. Speaker, the people of Southern Saskatchewan are more than just a cold-hearted formula. The minister's budget speech was full of flowery imagery. Wherever the sun shines and the wind blows and the unicorns roam happy and free. But touchy-feely words and Care Bear stares won't create jobs.
Clearly, we define in the policy what is acceptable. Ads must be objective, factual, and explanatory. They must be free from political party slogans or images. And, Mr. Speaker, it clearly defines, policy defines that for advertising, it is any message paid for by the government for placement in the media. And it is very clear as well that this was not paid government advertising, so they should change their questions now, having learned the truth on this.
Mr. Speaker, that answer should come with a disclaimer. It's too bad that the Liberals didn't tell Canadians to check the fine print on their election promises. They've got more disclaimers than a pharmaceutical ad. The PMO is parsing words to justify their skirting of the rules so that the Prime Minister could still appear in this vanity video. Will they just stop this blatant self-promotion on the taxpayers' dime? Speaker, on Friday, the Liberals invented a new term for a job-killing tax. The Environment Minister called their new carbon tax a market mechanism. I suppose to a Liberal, having the government decide the rate, impose it on the public, and forcibly collect the money makes it a market mechanism. If we look, we might find other market mechanisms, like the personal income market mechanism, where a certain percentage of everything you earn gets taken by force by the federal government. Or like the goods and services market mechanism, that forces consumers to pay 5% more for everything they buy. And of course, when you sell something at a profit, you'll have to pay capital gains market mechanisms on that too. But Mr. Speaker, Canadians won't be fooled by this newspeak. They know that when the government imposes a fee or a cost on something, that it's a tax. Instead of inventing new terms to hide their real agenda, the Liberals should just come clean. Their double talk is market mechanisming our patients.
Oh shit. It's Bernier and the Quebec contingent.
Alouette, gentille alouette, alouette, je te plumerai.
Quebec has been receiving more than half of the equalization money, the money that is in the equalization program, for years. And I said to Quebecers that I was not proud. I was not proud of that. I was not afraid to say that to my fellow Quebecers.
One last question. There's been a lot of talk here about the need to mobilize the next generation, the millennials, in the future. And what approach would you take to try to make conservatism more relevant to the next generation, win their support, win their advice, win their involvement?
I think it's the idea. I think it's what we believe in. I think they want a politician that is speaking for something that he believes in since a long time.
Maxime comes from a part of the country that speaks French first, English second. So I think we're omitting a little detail here. Hey, just to let you in on what I'm talking about at home, watch this.
We cannot afford to be complacent we conservatives have to show to everyone that we have solutions based on a freer economy, on responsibility and fairness. Ultimately, we believe and we support personal responsibility and individual freedom.
Learn, conservative. I did not know it was 3 words. Eh? Conservative. Eh? The honorable.
So what Bill C-16 was is that it amended the human rights legislation. Actually, I think it also amended the criminal code and put in gender identity and gender expression as another thing that can't be discriminated against, or another protected aspect of identity. And I voted against it. I voted against it for the simple reason that I do believe that it does infringe on the rights of people who want to express themselves and critique or have an opinion on the whole issue surrounding gender identity. I was very aware of some of the criticisms that have been made on the bill and the whole issue itself. I was following the issue of Jordan Peterson, who's a professor in Toronto, who's under intense pressure to adopt gender-neutral pronouns. I think is the big one there, you know. Yeah. And he's been a great advocate on talking about that aspect of it, going so far as to limit his freedom of speech. So I voted against it. I was aware of those concerns before the bill, and to me, it's a logical continuation, voting against M103 and against C-16.
Now, C-16 is before the Senate right now. It was interesting, Andrew. I remember the debate around C-16, and I think there's more public awareness around these freedom of speech issues, and I want to congratulate everyone who's watching, everyone who's posted about M103. There's just been a real groundswell of public awareness. That wasn't really there on C-16 in the fall, right? I don't think people were talking about it at the same level as they're talking about M103 now, and part of that meant that most of the leadership candidates voted in favor of C-16. Some of them weren't declared leadership candidates yet, but I think, and some of the leadership candidates are not members of Parliament, but there were only 2 MPs who are also leadership candidates who voted against C-16, you and Brad Trost. And so Maxime Bernier voted in favor, Michael Chong voted in favor, Lisa Raitt voted in favor, and that was a hard stance for you to take at the time, right? Because you didn't, I don't think you had necessarily a lot of support in terms of the commentary that was going around at the time. And now people are waking up to the dangers, but you were ahead of the curve, aware of these issues. And to me, honestly, that's what leadership is. I know we've got people that maybe want to walk back their position on C-16 now, and I welcome people changing their position on it as they become aware of those issues. But leadership means being proactive, knowing about these issues, and doing the right thing even when people aren't looking, right? Even when voters aren't necessarily that tuned into an issue.
And I have to say, in talking with him, I was struck by how he is everything Justin Trudeau isn't. He's the anti-Trudeau. Because of his role as Speaker, Scheer is so good on parliamentary procedure, I don't think we would see a Prime Minister Andrew Scheer manhandling anyone during a vote in the House because he doesn't understand simple parliamentary procedure the way Justin Trudeau did during the Elbowgate scandal. Andrew Scheer, despite being an MP for over a decade, is in fact younger than Trudeau, and he thinks there are no good times for new taxes. That's an actual conservative value, and it's good to hear conservatives finally talking that way again. Now, Scheer is camera friendly. In fact, his whole family is. I don't like that matters, but unfortunately that's the game the right has to start playing now. And as a mom, here's my favorite part. You know how Sophie Trudeau and her legion of nannies and taxpayer-funded help annoy me greatly? Well, last night I saw Andrew Scheer's wife managing their 5 very young kids all evening without a single nanny or handler in sight. Andrew Scheer is an MP that understands the challenges of real Canadian families.